What's up, YouTube? What's going on, CCI family? It's your main man back with the game plan once again because, yep, you already know. I can't leave you out there too long without that education and that information. You feel me? So check it. As promised, we're going to jump into the blueprint portfolio. Get a little catch up on that and see how it's doing. I've already gone ahead and wrote out a few notes on it. I'm going to play them for you. And then I got something serious to jump into with y'all. Okay? It's not long. It's not dragged out. But it is most definitely needed at this time. All right? So sit back, relax, catch it. Yo, you know the rest. Let's get this started.
All right, let's run a quick checkup on the blueprint portfolio. 6 stocks, 6 stories, and 1 contrarian strategy. Super microcomputer, SMCI is holding steady around $48, up slightly today. No major headlines, but it's still riding the AI infrastructure wave. If NVIDIA's next earnings hit, SMCI could get a sympathy boost. WULF just popped over 6% today, now trading at $13.71. That's a strong move, likely tied to Bitcoin's recent momentum. If crypto keeps climbing, WULF's mining exposure could make it one of the more explosive names in the portfolio. JOBY Aviation, JOBY's up nearly 3%, sitting at $16.13. No new FAA updates yet, but the eVTOL space is heating up. Keep an eye out for test flight news or regulatory milestones. Those are the big catalysts. General Electric, GE dipped slightly today, down about 0.8% to $303.87. Nothing alarming, just normal movement. The bigger story is still the post-spin-off strength. GE Aerospace is now the core, and it's looking leaner and more focused. Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, VOO's up about 0.8%, now at $622.55. It's your steady anchor in the portfolio, tracking the broader market. With rate cut chatter picking up, this could quietly benefit from a macro tailwind. OneMedNet, ONMD's flat today, up just a penny to $2.35. No major news, but it's still early days. This one's a long-shot data play in healthcare, and it's already had its intro video. So now we're just watching for traction. So that's the blueprint pulse. WULF's the standout today. SMCI and JOBY are steady, and ONMD's waiting in the wings. No major shakeups, but the contrarian thesis is intact. Let's keep building. Now back to Vince in the studio.
All right, so that kind of sums it up as far as the blueprint portfolio for now. Now, if you've been riding with me, meaning with the same stocks, let's keep it going. We going up. If you have diverted from the path and chosen your own, nothing wrong with that, please comment down below. Send us what you've chosen. Let's discuss them. Let's follow them together and learn together. You feel me? Now on to the message. So what I wanted to speak to you today about goes for all my viewers. However, more importantly to my younger viewers, those between 20 and 30, 20 and 35, pay particular attention, okay? So how this all began. I wasn't born into stocks. No one in my family talked about stocks. No one was a stock broker. None of this was discussed. Okay. The most financially responsible, I guess, would be my dad, but no stocks, nothing like that, no investing. Okay. My dad, I mean, even to come to think of it, the only numbers I was really concerned with back then, and especially in my teen years, dealt more with weights and measures, if you know what I mean, rather than percentages and share prices. Not that that's a good thing, but that's just what it was, okay? I was born in New York City, the Big Apple. My father, he was an immigrant. He was from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. His biggest thing was the Mets. And I guess that's kind of how this started, because every day he's picking up the daily news. It's in the car, it's on the TV. When he pick up that paper, me sitting next to him, I wanted to emulate Dad, of course. So I'm grabbing what he didn't grab. And at most, 9 times out of 10, it was the stock pages. So again, I'm just trying to be like Pops, but at the same time, something about all these numbers, all these little letters and ticker symbols, I didn't know they were tickers at that time. It seemed like some kind of mysterious secret code to me. So, I gravitated towards that. So every time he would do that, I would do that. You feel me? Fast forward years later, I'm in high school. Our math teacher gave us some kind of project dealing with the stock market. Whoever picked the stock that averaged the most through whatever time he gave us was the winner. Me, again, unbeknownst to me, I did the right thing, but I chose something I was familiar with, which is what you're supposed to do. Other kids were choosing the biggest names or the biggest amounts, IBM, this, that, and the other. And I won the competition. I chose a company that my mother was working for at that time for almost 20 years. She did go on to surpass that, but it was CNA Insurance in New York. So I won that competition. However, it didn't click to me yet. Now I'm in high school. We in the city, you know, things are going on. So I didn't grab onto it yet. Pay attention. So now years later, I've started my tattoo career. I've moved on, and these little tips that I was getting now and then from doing the tattoos, I would take those and hide them and stuff them. I love collecting money, right? But I walked into my bank one day, and the teller was telling me something about a mutual fund program that the bank had. So another strike, right? So I started taking all of my tips and throwing them into these mutual funds, into any companies that I was familiar with, whether it was Netflix, Apple, Google, whatever, right? So, but I'm not paying attention to it. I'm just putting the money in there, right? This is where it kind of stuck. Because years later, after the passing of my mother, I went back and looked at it. And I saw, knowing that I had only put a certain amount in there, maybe a few hundred, this thing was in the thousands, like $3,000, $4,000. So now I'm kind of interested, but I'm not learning. You feel me? And I took a look at it a few months later, and it had dropped. And I'm like, where did all the money go? I'm not mad because none of it was mine. Okay, except for the few hundred. But so I went on ahead and sold a few of them, but I shouldn't have done that. No, I shouldn't have done that. Which caused me to start to really investigate stocks, learn about them, watch videos, even going to Barnes & Noble. Now remember, I'm a city dude. I'm going to Barnes & Noble, spending $20, $30, $40 on books, bringing them home and reading them. Okay, now I'm hooked. So now after getting hooked and somewhat successful in the game, I start thinking, what if I had have started this back then? I'm going to say that again. What if I had have started this way back then? Let me show you what I'm talking about.
What if I'd taken that curiosity from the daily news and actually acted on it? Let's just say I put $1,000 into Apple in 1997 when Steve Jobs came back. That would be worth over $1 million today. Or if I dropped $1,000 into Amazon in 2001 when it was still just selling books. That'd be nearly $2 million now. Even if I didn't pick a single stock, if I just invested $5 a day into the S&P 500 starting in 2000, I'd have over $70,000 by 2020. That's just the cost of a daily coffee. So now, I'm not waiting. I'm building the blueprint portfolio. I'm starting with $100 and showing the journey. Wins, losses, lessons, all of it. Because it's not about being perfect. It's about starting and staying in the game. The best time to start might have been 20 years ago. The second best time is right now.
So Moral of the story is, without wasting any more of your time on this Sunday, is don't wait. Put all the excuses to the side. Don't be the ones who say, I'm going to do it. I've been thinking about it. I just need to. Because when you walk in that store and see what you want, you don't just have to, you just grab it. Grab your future now. You can still chase your dreams. This can be on the back burner if it's not your main thing, just in case. Because you're going to come to that day where one of two things are going to be said. I wish I had it, or I'm glad I did. Don't wait. I can't tell you whether to buy, hold, or sell, but I can tell you I've seen millions that this has worked for, and I am one of them. This is your main man with the game plan. Thanking y'all for sharing this time with me on this Sunday. Wishing you all a blessed and financially successful week ahead. Big things coming for the channel. And I'll see you on the next episode of Chump Change Investments. Peace.